Hello, it's nice to have you back. Welcome back to my channel. I want to say a big thank you to all our followers and all our fans all around the world who have been supporting this brand. We say thank you. And if this is the first time you're coming across our video, well, these are the maiden editions, so you're just new to the market. Okay, all right, but we're so happy, we're so glad to have you here. We're excited to meet you. Anyway, so what are we talking about today? Today, let's look into the issue of languages in our private schools. All right, at the end of the term, your child comes home with a bill that contains what you're expected to pay the school for the next term. Okay, now if you look into this bill very well, there's some of us who do, and there's some like day school parents who don't actually. I don't blame them, but you ought to, as a parent or a guardian, you have to be able to know what's the content of your child's bill. All right, so if you look into this bill, you see a part of the bill that says French. Yeah, I mean, okay, so you see French and you see the bill for French, what is being charged for French. Some schools are, well, they're quite, you know, they're considerate. They just bill you on the low side. While there are some, this is how their mouth is. They want to squeeze you dry of every resource that you have. All right. What this basically means is that your child is being charged separately for that service. It's not part of the tuition. You've paid the tuition and you have to pay that also. Actually, it's all tactics. It's tactics because French is expected to be in the curriculum for your child. So when you're paying tuition, that French, the tuition covers the French. It is not supposed to be separated. But you know what? That is another discussion for another day. Let's not divert. So you go, you hustle, and you pay this bill. You send your child to school to go learn. It's so sad because after years of your child undergoing French language training, that child still ends up unable to express themselves in French. It's really disheartening. How can your child's school, how can private schools out there charge you for a service, and at the end of the day, you actually do not see any, you don't see any proof that that service was rendered the right way. There's nothing to show for it. There's nothing to show for the effort. There's nothing to show for your own sacrifice to ensure that your child has quality education. And your children, they're just there. That is injustice. That's injustice against you as a parent. That's injustice against that child. Do you know what the opportunities that so many Nigerians have lost just because they can't speak French language? There are countries out there that are basically French-speaking countries. They are Francophone countries. And I'm not talking about African countries now. I'm talking about countries in Europe where people can migrate and start they can migrate to these countries and go find something good doing. Go out there and see how people are hustling, are struggling to learn French language in their old age. And your child is attending school, comes home with a bill every 3 months, which you have to pay for, and that child cannot speak a single sentence in French. There's a big problem somewhere. You are a failure as a parent. You failed as a parent. If you permit that injustice you have failed. You failed woefully. It is not just for you to send your child to school, pay the school fees, and then just leave the child to, okay, you know what, you're going to survive. Just find your way. That's not it. It's you also being on your toes. You see, one thing about private schools, is parents, there are people like me who will not keep quiet. Because I can't be paying for a service and you don't render that service in total. You don't ensure that you give me the best service. I will drag you. I will pull down the roof. I will make sure I make noises. I will make sure I inconvenience you. Because I can't be doing my part and you are failing in your part. It makes absolutely no sense to me. It doesn't. So you as a parent, your child is not getting what they're supposed to get, and you're comfortable. It's fine. You're all cool. Everything is going fine. I'm so sorry for you. I'm very, very sorry for you. It's time for you to actually pay attention to what is going on in your child's school. If that child is in a French class, if that child is studying French, then that child must be able to express themselves in that language. Do you know the funny thing? The funny thing is, most of these French teachers don't even have a curriculum. That's one. Secondly, most of these French educators don't even have in-depth knowledge of the subject matter. Most of them are just using idea. So they will go to their children's school and go and speak something. And not everybody understands French. So when they have done "ça va le poso passer passa," it has finished. French chitidele. Everybody will start. Yes, this is a hot French teacher. Whereas they are just speaking rubbish, total nonsense. And you as a parent, you're there idle. You leave the responsibility to the school, and the school helps you to, just do whoosh, whoosh on your children. And years later, those children lose the opportunities that they are supposed to have based on the fact that they studied French when they were growing up. We studied French when we were growing up, but look at us today. We're nowhere. No, not that we're nowhere in life, but we're nowhere in speaking the language. And why is that? Because the teachers who taught us failed woefully. They failed us. They failed us. Right now, to learn French is a big task for me. I'm basically struggling under that weight. But I don't have a choice. Because yes, I want to Japa. So I'm studying French. Don't allow your children to go through this same pain. Don't allow them. Do you know what you can do? Download French apps for your children. Get them data. Let them, apart from the school, what the school is doing, also let them be involved. Yes, constantly get them involved in speaking French. You really need to. It's a skill. It's a life skill. Please download French apps. Let them learn French faster. Get French texts and give it to them. Let them transcribe into English. That is the follow-up you are supposed to do as a parent, so that you know how to go to their school and go and turn the place upside down, so that they will sit up and they will sit tight and do the right thing. When parents are just, when they take everything with levity, the schools also will they don't have problem with the parents. So they'll be enjoying themselves doing nothing. They'll be enjoying themselves wasting your children's time. For that service that you're paying for, that French, go back to that school, call that child, and find out if your child is actually learning. If your child is not learning, then do something about it. Anyway, that is what we are going to. That's where we're going to stop for today. In the next video, we're going to be talking about some other things that are affecting our children and their school. Until then, remain blessed. Bye.